Hi, and welcome to playpiano.com. I'd like to cover today the formation of major chords. How do you form major chords? You need to know that for sure because all other chords depend on knowing those major chords. In other words, you're not going to be able to construct a minor chord or a minor seventh or a sixth or a diminished or an augmented chord unless you know the formula for creating a major chord. So let's look at that right now. Chords are formed from scales, and you need to know the scale first. Like this is a C scale. Major chords are formed by taking the root of that scale, the third of that scale, and the fifth of that scale and playing them together. Now whether you play the chord like that or upside down like that or upside down like that, it's still the C chord. That's C major chord because it's based on the root, the third, and the fifth of that major scale. But not every other scale has all white notes, does it? For example, the B scale goes like this. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. All major scales are made with that same formula. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. Let's go back to C and check that out. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. In other words, they're all whole steps except between the third and fourth degrees of the scale and the seventh and eighth degree of the scale. They're half steps there, okay? So let's come back to the B scale. If we determine that the B scale goes like that, and it does, then we simply take the root, the third, and the fifth of the B scale, and that's the B major chord, okay? If you wanted to figure out the D flat major chord, then you would play the D flat major scale, which is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. So if I take the root, third, and fifth of the D flat scale, that's called the D flat major chord. It's also enharmonic with the C sharp major chord. In other words, this black key can be called either D flat or C sharp. And I can call it D flat major or I can call it C sharp major because they're enharmonic. They're the same thing. The same sound, the same keys you play, but on paper they would look differently. Okay? The first case would be flats and the second case would be sharps. Okay? Now the D scale, let's figure that out. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. If I take the root, third, and fifth of the D scale, that makes the D major chord. And it's D major whether I play it upside down or inside out or stretch it out or whatever I do, okay? I can even play it as an arpeggio. In other words, break up the chords if I want in any order. It's still the D major chord. Okay, E flat, let's figure that out. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So if I take the root, third, and fifth of the E flat chord, the E flat chord is E flat, G, and B flat. See how that works? Now let's figure out the E scale. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So again, if I take the root, third, and fifth of the E scale, that's the E major chord. Let's do the F scale. If I take the root, third, and fifth of that, that's the F major chord. F sharp or G flat. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. If I take the root, third, and fifth of that G flat scale, or F sharp major scale, that's called the G flat major chord, or the F sharp major chord. They're enharmonic. And again, it doesn't matter whether I play it upside down, inside out, or what, as long as it's those same three notes. Now the G scale goes like this. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So if I take the root, third, and fifth of the G scale, that's G major chord. A flat major scale. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Root, third, and fifth. That's the A flat major chord. Here's the A chord. The A scale. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. If I play the root, third, and fifth of the A scale, that's A major. For B flat, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. If I take the root, third, and fifth of the B flat scale, that's the B flat major chord. And we did the B scale earlier, so we've done all 12 major chords, haven't we? Did you notice that 3 of them are all white? C, F, and G. 3 of them have a black key in the center, D, E, and A. 3 have a black on the outside and a white on the inside, like an Oreo cookie, D flat, E flat, and A flat. One's all black, that was G flat, you remember that. And then 2 oddballs left over, B, which is white, black, black, and B flat, which is black, white, white. Okay? So that's the formula for finding major chords. We'll see you tomorrow with another short video. Thanks, bye.
What's the name of that